to be here.
All right, sounds good. So a bit of background, like why are we talking about living in Japan? So if you don't already know, despite us talking about it almost every single episode, we used to live in Japan, and it was sick. We lived there. What was it, like a year and like 0.2 months?
It was about 13 months, maybe a little past, but yeah. So like a year.
About a year.
It's easier to say than 13 months.
Yeah, so we spent a year in Japan. We were English teachers, blah, blah, blah. We were both in Chiba.
Yes, we were both in Chiba, which is the prefecture or state county next to Tokyo.
County, is it really? I guess it's a county,
Just because it's small, but I mean, it's like a state.
It's like a state.
But no one else calls their places states like the US does.
Yeah, like if Tokyo was like California, then we lived in like...
Nevada.
Well, I
don't know. I guess Oregon.
That makes it sound so shitty.
Okay, let's do a different one. Oregon? Oregon's alright.
Oregon's good. Yeah.
You know, I guess Nevada could be Ibaraki of north of us.
Yeah, so we lived in Chiba, which is like super close to Tokyo, so we spent a lot of time there. And yeah, we went around Japan on our vacations. Dad, where did you stay when you were in Japan?
I was in Yokosuka.
Yokosuka.
Yeah, it's about, I would say, about an hour and a half or so from Tokyo.
Which direction?
South of
It's south,
Tokyo.
right? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's in Yokohama, right? Prefecture?
It's in Yokohama Prefecture.
Kanagawa.
Oh, Kanagawa, right.
And,
Yokohama's in Kanagawa.
Right. Oh, Yokosuka's in Kanagawa? Oh, geography major over here.
All right,
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the prefecture southwest of Tokyo.
Southwest of Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the direct west.
Yeah, and you just came back from your last trip. How long were you there?
I was there for almost 6 months.
6
That's
months.
a long time.
All right. Can you give us an approximate, like, total time you've spent in Japan, like, all of your trips combined? How much time have you, like, lived in Japan?
So last year I was there for a month. And in 2018, I was there for like 2 months. So I would say close to a year.
You also spent a year in Japan. Well, perfect. Yeah. Together we have 3 years of experience.
That's right.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're about to hit like the senior position in a job.
Mm-hmm.
If living in Japan was a job.
If we stayed there long enough, yeah. We were there towards COVID times though. At the very end.
Times, yes.
That's right.
So that's an special experience.
That was very interesting. You know, COVID Japan is a lot different from regular Japan.
Yeah, very. I'm sure every place is like that. But it's an interesting thing to mention, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a very unique perspective on it because we were there when Japan was kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't, like, some people have, like, went to Japan when, you know, they kind of got COVID more under control and things got more regulated. But we were there when the government was like, what the hell do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Considering Japan has a lot of tourism, and a lot of that is from other Asian countries, including China next door, which obviously became a huge issue. And you saw a lot of that in Japanese news about businesses closing, canceling tourism, and not getting any funding. That was a crazy time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you, Dad, you actually went there even when the country was kind of like shut down from COVID, right?
Yes, because if you're on military order, then they'll let you in there because you're on a kind of a military.
You're on a priority,
mission.
right?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But it's close to anybody else.
Yeah, you know, I was actually like curious, like what was like your boarding and like airport experience? Because I assume security must be crazy tight. Because like when we left Japan, we were on one of the like few commercial airlines that could leave Japan, and security was kind of crazy at the time. And the airport was empty, and you know, they tested us for COVID at multiple stages of the trip. So like,
not really.
Well, okay, they tested me because
no, I mean they tested us once.
They tested us once.
They had because we had a layover.
Yeah,
and
but
that
you know they were.
cared.
But you know they were checking temperatures, and you know they were.
Would you call it security?
There were very few
That's just
people
kinda like,
on our plane as well.
Kind
Oh,
of,
yes.
yeah. It was more like checkpoints and security.
Yeah.
Because I would say the airport was empty.
It
You
was
know,
empty.
If
Yeah.
there's
You too?
security, it's busy.
Yeah, so I left July 4th this year, right? So in the middle of the height of the pandemic, and going through LAX,
That must have been bonkers.
it's empty. There's not
Wow.
much
That must have
people
been
in
crazy.
there. And checking in, pretty much they ask you everything. They check for my orders, making sure my name is on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think boarding the plane, there's only about probably 10 or less that's in that plane
Whoa.
going to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nice. Extra leg room.
I'm sure they all had orders as well, or like they were all slightly related
There
to
has
these
to be-
priority
Yeah.
kind of government positions.
There has to be a
going on.
reason why. That's not just like leisure. And
Yeah.
probably not
Right.
businesses. Most of them also didn't like let
Right.
people. So yeah, like I had students who normally traveled everywhere, and they were like, "Oh, I'm starting to learn how to use Zoom, or try to navigate new business
Mhm.
via video calling." I was like, "How is it?" And they're like, "I like it. I don't have to travel every week." She's like, "I can finally just work from home for once." But yeah.
That's true.
But it is
Sure.
very different than what most people are used to.
It is very different. We have to kind of acknowledge that this year's travel into Japan is like completely different from any other kind of travel to Japan.
We're very lucky actually because we experienced it.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're fortunate.
You know, we're the few that made it on the plane during the pandemic, and not a lot of people never really get the chance to travel because they have no reason to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we really kind of like finessed our way
Yeah.
into Japan. Like we somehow like got out of that experience
That's true.
before the borders really shut down and things were more stringent. And you kind of made it in even when the borders were incredibly strict.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, for some things it's required, But like for like to go back to Japan, I've seen a lot of issues where like students, international students who go to school there don't have a way to get back home or how to go there, but they're paying tuition still. Or as long as you're of Japanese citizenship, you can go back, but that doesn't include your family who might not be. So like a husband or wife could go back, but they would have to leave their family in whatever other country they were stuck at.
That's awful.
Right? Yeah. So their family is like stranded, and they're like, only you can go back because your other family technically doesn't have citizenship, or they have to figure out the paperwork. That's just a lot to deal with this year.
It is a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of glad that we weren't, I think, in the full swing of lockdown.
No, I guess not. But Japan is a little wishy-washy about it too.
A little wishy-washy.
As every other country is.
Yeah. But Dad, you were definitely in the swing of it,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Definitely. So, upon arriving to Japan, right? So, they tested us, of course, right? And you can't really go anywhere in that airport unless you're escorted by, airport personnel.
Oh.
And going through the process, they tested you, and then you cannot just go hang around and wait for your taxi or shuttle. They actually, contained all of us. So they secured about 2 or 3, where the baggage claim was.
Mm-hmm.
They put walls and fences around it, and they actually had a makeshift bed or cardboard boxes where you can sit down, relax, and they, there's food there. They feed you there until, your ride is there, and then they'll escort you to the thing, and that's the only time you can leave the airport. And on the corner, somewhere in the corner where we are, kind of isolated, there's people stranded somehow. I can tell that they've been there for probably a week or so.
Oh.
They can't go anywhere.
What?
At the airport. Because they have blankets. They have blankets all over the place over there. And they're sleeping in this makeshift cardboard box shaped like a bed.
It's like that movie, The Terminal.
The terminal. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. Because probably they canceled the plane. They probably have connection flight somewhere. But somehow
Things
all
got
airports got
shut down and
shut
bogged
down,
or
and
whatever.
they're waiting.
Yeah. Oh, that's so rad.
Wild.
That's what it was. But at least you get fed in there, and
Yeah.
bathroom, everything else. But still,
How many people did you see, like approximately? Just
Well,
like chilling in the airport.
Yeah, so I think they shut down about 3 or 4, those carousel where for your baggage claim area. I think in the corner, about on the last one, they're there in that corner. So I would say about they're around it. I would say about 15 or so, about 20. Yeah, there's a few of them because they kind of isolate us on this corner, the one that just came in, and I can tell there's only a few of us, and that's about it. I saw him because I was gonna go to the bathroom, and that's on their way. Oh, what the hell, these guys,
It's like
That's
one flight
wild.
equivalent.
Yeah. So
That's
and
a
then-
lot more than when we left. Nothing really happened.
nothing really happened.
Like we were on one of maybe one flight or 2 flights a day to South Korea as
Two
our
flights.
layover.
Two flights a day.
To South
Still
Korea.
some.
So
Yeah.
one in the morning, one in the evening, probably. There were enough people on our flight.
I would say we were like 2/3 full, maybe,
Yeah.
but
Like,
not
there's
not
a-
completely next to each other.
Yeah,
Or
not
that
completely
at
next
the
to each
same
other, but there was still like one seat between, I think, groups. Like there are families, and I think between like family seating there was a space, but it wasn't as nice as it could be.
time. Yeah.
And I felt like they didn't really do much. I mean, I guess we're leaving, so they're not gonna bother testing us, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, you're your own problem now. Bye.
Your own problem. You're on your own.
Right? I mean, like,
They really did that, right? When
it
they
really
dropped us
felt
off.
like I was like, they're not doing anything. But when we
Mhm.
got to Korea, it was a lot more strict about like checking your temperature and going around. Their airport was also empty.
Korea definitely had it together. I
Yeah,
think,
a lot
more than
more
the
together.
Japanese airport. Crazy to think about.
Maybe just because we were going in though.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
the U.S. airport when we got here, terrible.
Oh, terrible. The U.S. airport was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, how are you doing?
Welcome. You guys okay? All right,
Welcome.
bye.
Make sure your mask is on. Bye."
You
Yeah.
guys are lucky then. I mean, because during that time when I came over there, I mean, you guys didn't experience the RAM, the restriction of movement.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah.
14 days quarantine is what they did to us, and it felt like horrible. You're inside your room the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we, took the shower from Narita to Yokosuka, check into your hotel, go to your room, and that's about it. They told you, you can leave your room. We'll provide you with all the food. The laundry's in there. There's a laundry. What do you call that? A laundromat or a laundry machine inside the room, and you can go. How small these rooms are in Japan, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of large than a regular, actually, it's a more Americanized area in there. So, but it is what it is. And 14 days is a horrible thing to stay in that
Yeah,
room.
I heard
Yeah.
Korea did something similar, based on other people's videos, where like you get out of the airport,
Yeah.
they take you to your assigned hotel room, and you quarantine there, but they provide you with 3 meals a day.
That's right.
You have a special way of sending out like a bag of laundry. They wash it, they deliver
That's
it back, and like the TV and entertainment. There's a lot of stuff though. I heard
Yeah.
they did it really well.
Well, the military, I was surprised the way, my sponsor, usually you have a sponsor over there, so they did a good job. The first day I was there, they contacted me. They dropped me drop off my laptop, work laptop, and they actually, my sponsor gave me like a grocery kind of bags with everything in there.
Oh.
Shaving cream,
Like essentials and stuff.
that's correct. And, I'm lucky to have that, and that's about it. They just drop it off the door over there. They can't really
Say hi.
That's correct.
Did they do that for your food too? Like at the door?
At the door, yeah. They knock and then leave the food in there.
It's almost prison. If only they slid
That's-
open a little window
Correct.
and
They
sent
want-
you food.
Right. Because even the room, so you're there for 14 days. They give you the cleaning supplies. They don't clean the room at all. You know how
Oh,
regular
yeah.
hotels are. They go in there, clean the
They
bathroom. No,
can't.
you have to clean it yourself. They leave all the stuff in there, and if you need anything else, you just call them on the phone. They actually just drop everything in front of your door over there.
I kind of respect that by the hotel. Like, I think it's good to hear that they are actually doing something about it instead of just going on as normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they have to abide by the rules set by the military side as well, because they know a lot of military personnel or even contractors from the U.S. stay in that hotel. But so they have to obey whatever the military rules applies from inside the base to the outside. So.
How did you kill the time? What'd you do?
Oh man, a lot of TVs really, obviously, but I gotta do jumping jacks, push up, and sit ups inside there, run in place really. You gotta sweat at least once a day and stuff like that. That's all you could do. I wish I had books that I brought with me, but I brought some. Check some books out on the internet. Ebooks, is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only read so much. I can only watch TV so much, and you just have to survive it.
Yeah.
I still work. In the morning I have to attend a meeting, a conference, a teleconference. So I have to dial in and listen in, and you actually, they ask you, how are you guys doing? How am I doing? We're good. And so you know what's happening in the waterfront, which is, shipyard.
Okay, so update you.
That's correct.
In daily meetings.
You're
That's
not just left alone.
No,
Sat there on your
no,
own.
no.
Yeah.
You start hearing the clock in the room
Right.
Mhm.
It is 14 days.
That's crazy. Knowing you, you hate just not being able to do anything.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like your worst nightmare.
Well, that's why I increase my, usually I do 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups a day. I increase my stuff in there for 300 a day.
Yeah. You with
Push-ups and
300?
sit-ups. Yeah. But not straight, okay? It's 50 intervals. 50, 50, 50. I build up my resistance or my strength in there.
But
You
still,
got
Pretty
to.
good.
but still.
It's still. You gotta, it's totally different. And guess what? After 14 days, I got my freedom, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You open that door, you smell the fresh air and
Open
put on
the
a mask.
door. But remember, it was still a Charlie. So military, you have different conditions, threat conditions over there. During that time, it's Charlie. So basically, all people, all military personnel that's work on the shipyard and just live outside of it, they cannot go outside the town, outside Yokosuka, unless essential travels only. So everyone else is kind of hold up in Yokosuka to and from work, home and work.
So you left a room lockdown to enter a city lockdown.
That's correct. So, and I know they remind me, hey, make sure you don't use public transportation. You cannot even use. So when I get out, you gotta be walking, right? You cannot use the bus. You cannot use the train. And they don't issue really as a car in there. It's not, authorized to have a car in there. For us,
Right.
Just a visiting there for temporary duty.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what I did the first time?
What'd you do?
I bought a bike, a bicycle, the folding Japanese bike, just enough so I can go at least farther than I can walk in there.
Right. Just increase your movement
That's
around
correct. And I kind of like that. You gotta find ways to move around, and enjoy what you can during that situation.
the city. Where'd you find the bike?
So I was walking. Of course, I don't have a bike yet, so I just walk north, south, east, and west, trying to I entertain myself. Most of the stores are closed. We can't even go to the mall. We're restricted going to the mall. We still cannot dine in as well. There's open restaurants. There's restaurants at the mall and stuff, but we cannot dine in as military. So you have to order the food
Take
and
out.
go back to your room, or probably what I did is eat it at the park over there where there's nobody.
There's
Just
nobody
close
around.
by. That's
Okay.
correct. So it was interesting, but I'm just glad after that 14 days I got out and enjoy more of Japan. So by walking and then walking around for miles or two, and then I saw that bike, bought it, brought it in, and I'm a happy camper after that.
Was it like a bike shop?
There's a bike shop. I think they call it Asahi. So it's about, if you
All
walk, it's
stores in
about
Japan.
Yeah.
Asahi cycle. So it's about probably, I would say that is about 30 to 45 minutes of walk one way.
To work?
No,
Or-
to that.
Like around the area.
From the hotel to that area.
Oh, okay.
To the cycle shop.
Oh.
I saw it, bought it, and interesting. They do everything in there. They register your bike and they fine tune the bike before they give them to you. So
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You would do that
Awesome.
too.
Yeah.
I would do that.
If you were in that
now.
situation.
That's
I
right.
like bikes myself.
Right.
Mhm.
It's cool.
So also I use that to and from work as well. So, but when you go the first time, you got to bring your paperwork because you have to register it on base as well.
Oh.
Your bike?
That's correct.
What?
They put a sticker on the side of your bike, then making sure.
This is somebody's bike
okay.
on his base.
That's correct. And they have a lot more requirement going on base. You gotta have the helmet.
Mhm.
You gotta have the lights front and back. Outside it's not as much, but when you go on base, you have to have all that stuff.
I mean, you should have it front and back, anyways.
Yeah,
If you can.
there is. But the one in the back of mine is just the reflector.
Mhm.
Back in on base, they want to make sure it's also battery power that you can turn on and off.
Oh, okay.
What?
So
Wow.
I forgot.
That's so.
But actually, the Asahi Cycle Shop, they put one in the front,
Mhm.
the lights. But the back, they also, okay, well, so I gotta walk or
Bike
get
back.
out of the registration and go to the exchange and buy that back. They sell that
Mhm.
and put it on, go back in there, and it's easy.
Oh. Pimping out a nice bike.
That's correct.
Yeah, you have that bike still. I tried it today.
How was it?
Good?
I brought it with me.
You brought it with you.
That's the
Don't
idea.
hit the table so much.
I want to bring a authentic Japanese folding Japanese bicycle back home.
Yeah.
Because I think I tried ordering it online. It's it's kind of I don't know if it's a regular Japanese bike. So
Mhm.
I wanted to look for a Japanese bicycle, but actually you've seen it. It's a cheap bicycle
Yeah, you said it's $200.
instead of like the Dahon, which is the Japanese. But there's so many name brands in there that I just
Mhm.
pick the ones that I like.
Mm.
You know.
That works. I mean, it works.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Oh.
fun.
Traveling.
I've never traveled Japan on a bike.
Well, yeah, 'cause-
must be nice. Must be nice.
Whenever I get the chance, like I said, that we work long hours over there, but whenever I get the chance to go, like on a Saturday or Sunday, I just pick a road and just keep riding until I see that end. I mean, you can go up the mountains. I see the regular guys on their road bikes with their, those racer guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bike side by side with them. I'm a small biker
On
guy.
your
Your
folding
folding bike.
commuter
That's
bike.
correct. Going up and down the mountains.
Oh, racing
and
bike. Gotcha.
It was nice. I mean, I like it. So I enjoyed it. Enjoyed my time with that bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing with that bicycle, it has that smaller wheel on it. And I enjoyed riding it around town in Yokosuka because now I understood that that's why they have that small bicycle wheels on there, so you can turn on a dime on those small streets in Japan. They have the
Ah,
small
I
streets.
see.
Is
in
that really
Japan.
why?
I don't know if that's why.
Experience-wise, and if it is, but some side streets are real narrow, and it's okay to turn than having a large wheel like a regular bicycle. That's like
Mhm.
and, you have to dodge people in there, and all the pedestrians in there. Yeah.
Mhm. I think folding bikes generally have smaller wheels,
Yes.
based on what I've seen.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's
there's-
the point, right? You're trying to minimize the space
Yeah.
as well.
But I mean, that would be kind of neat if like they had special sized
Mhm.
tires, so it's easier to navigate an area.
Yeah, and thinking about like what you said, like I just pick a street and I'll go down it. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's a discovery. I mean, it's an expedition for me every time.
yeah. Japan is a really great country for doing that. I feel like Japan has these like huge places, huge tourist traps, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like a million holes in the wall, or like
That's
a million little things that you
correct.
get to see.
Mm-hmm.
And like it, for some reason, like yeah, there's like the really big spectacles, like Mount Fuji and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
like in my mind, I kind of keep the little places in my mind because I don't know. I feel like
They
there's
have-
way more of that in Japan.
They have what I call hidden gems or hidden paradise that you don't see if you're riding the car or a train. Because sometimes you're just walking or riding the bike and suddenly, how come there's people going in there? And you just discover, oh wow, there's a pond and there's a seat. It's like small parks. It's like, for me, it's paradise because there's fish in there, nature surrounding you, and it's like you don't see it on the side of the road. You go in there, oh wow, and they spend some time in there. It's peaceful and take some photos and go forward.
Mm.
Go on. I like that. Yes.
We do have like a lot of architecture. Like a lot of people enjoy like taking scenery photos of Japan or like
So
Korea,
scenic.
Asia just in general. But like, I guess it's just the style of architecture and landscaping they go with, and the fact that they have good public transportation means less cars, I guess, and like more spaces for walking on.
Less parking lots just randomly all over the
Yes.
place.
Like, it kind of sucks to drive there, but it's not like unheard of to have a car, of course. But there's all these places you can just walk to.
That's correct. Well, even regular Japanese houses, you gotta enjoy, no matter how small their front or backyard is. There's some kind of the way they decorate, the way they put their plants in there. It's like
Aesthetic is like in
That's
their blood.
Feng shui.
that's right. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
It's very organized, very clean, and it's pleasing to the eye. I mean, they're all different.
Exactly.
That's true. I'll agree with that.
No matter what they make or do, it always looks nice. That's a big
correct.
point to their culture, I think.
It's just important to them.
Yeah, it's important to them.
It's like beyond function.
Yeah, like function, but you have to make it look nice. Whether it's like pretty or cute. But like, here in the US, we don't really have that. It's like, this is what it is. And sometimes it's just something big, like a truck, and you're like, doesn't really look great, but it functions well.
That's true. I mean, like,
just a different focus.
When like in my old apartment, like it was in a pretty like just residential neighborhood, pretty like boring place, I would say. But even then, like down the street, there's like a shrine, and like
That's right.
yeah, it's like you get some crazy stuff going on, and even in any like humdrum city,
Right.
will have like things to look at and things to like find and just be interested in.
Maybe we just think it's different, and that's why it's special to us. And you're just like, yeah, it's a local shrine.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's why it's interesting to us, because we've never seen it before. But,
right, but I mean, like the land density and stuff like that. And it's like shrines are all over the country, like the really small ones,
Small ones, big ones, that's what I noticed there. Even on the red light. Well, I don't call it a red light. Where all the Yokosuka is more of a sailor town, right? Because more Americans over there, it's the streets like all clubs left and right. But in the middle of it, there's a shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they
besides,
don't
it's
touch
like 2 clubs or a bar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you can go in there. You can pray in there. It's amazing. And the other thing too, I guess this is my several times I've been into Japan. It's always good experience for me. But the main thing is safety. I don't worry about getting, walking around or biking around even in the middle of the night or even 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel unsafe in there at all. I feel very safe, and it is safe. How about you guys? I mean, that's how I feel.
Hell yeah. It's the safest I've ever felt of like any country that I visited, even for like a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
For me, there's like no worry about getting into trouble unless I cause trouble. Like honestly, I might be the most dangerous person around me in Japan.
Yeah, I would agree. It is the safest of any place I've been to. Definitely about like being late at night, there's kind of usually still people around. Whether that's good or bad. But like I'd go throw out the trash at like 1 a.m. Like, oh shoot, the trash day. Japan tends to have really strict trash rules depending on each city and region. So I go out and I'm like, shoot, and I noticed that there's a bunch of office workers or businessmen walking home.
Still doing it, right?
Still walking
they're
home.
still out
I'm
there.
like, I look around the street and there's a guy in his suit slowly walking back, and I'm like, oh, it's already like 12 o'clock. What's he still doing out here?
Yeah, but I mean, even then, it's still like incredibly safe.
Yeah.
Even when we were out like in Tokyo and it was like late at night because we were like drinking at a bar or something, there's no fear. There's no sense of like, oh, somebody's gonna hassle me, or like we're gonna have to not take this street because it looks sketchy or something. Nothing. None at all.
I did have one of my family friends apparently got into a fight when he was traveling over there, but I was like, how did that happen? But exception.
I mean, okay, that's an exception, but like
no, like he got hassled into a fight.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's always an exception.
Right?
There's always an exception. But hearing one story about it, and you're thinking, Wow, that's really weird.
Yeah.
That means the entire country is pretty damn safe. If that one fight is really weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
overall, it is one of the highest
Yeah,
ones.
That's correct. And the other amazing thing in there is, you know, you heard stories about they find something, they return it, and you can, you know, there's a lost and found in there, and you know, even a wallet with money on there, they'll return it. They don't want to take it. So at first, I don't believe that, but I experienced it firsthand the last time I was there. I lost my credit card.
Oh.
Okay, so I was
Uh-huh.
just walking around. I know I do have my bike in there. I get out of the bike walking. It's just like food stalls.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I gotta walk and check out
The food.
the food and stuff like that, and taking my phone out of my thing, and you know, I have my credit card on there. It felt, and then I didn't notice until like 30 minutes on my thing. Oh shoot! So I traced my thing back. I didn't see any, and I know that you know, people returned it on like a lost and found, and there was a close by Koban, which is the is that how you say
yeah,
it?
the little police station.
Police station. I went in there. I told him, you know, somebody returned it here, and you know, even though they try to like, there's a communication problem in there. They can't, but they actually try to like understand what I'm saying. They even called somebody on the phone for me to talk English to that, and they understand it.
Wow.
But they said nobody returned it. But if they do, just come back. Okay, so I thought I'm a gunner, and it's a credit card. You know, people can use it. So me being safe and not thinking about, you know, it might be you know, regular is, we call the company, I mean the credit card company, and report it stolen or gone, right? So I did that and considered it gone, right?
Yeah.
But that night, guess what? Somebody called me. Well, not call, but you know, messenger.
Yeah.
Somebody took the time
Messenger.
because you got a name on the card.
Yeah.
Wow, they found you.
That's
They found it,
crazy.
somebody did that extra to find me on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Wow. And I guess
And-
they knew the language, English well enough.
She's an American.
Oh!
She's a wife, but guess what? She didn't really find the card. So what it was she said she was walking the same area where
Yeah.
I lost it,
Uh-huh.
and she found it. Somebody put it on a planter.
On a planter.
Which-
Oh,
so
yeah.
They probably, you know,
They saw it on the ground and they put it somewhere
they
visible.
never really took it, so people can, you know,
See
whoever
it.
see it. And then it just so happened that she was walking over there, and then she looked at it. Looks like this, and she said to me that, you know, it looks like it's a U.S.
Card.
credit, your U.S. card. It's not a Japanese card or something. So she kept it, and you know, she looked me up on Facebook, messaged me that day, and she lives about 30 or so minutes away from my hotel, where my hotel was. She even drove the card over there that night,
Damn.
drop it off in front of my hotel, because I know I don't have a car,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I told her, you know, I'm staying at Yokosuka Hotel here, and she knows where it's at, because apparently her husband is a military guy.
Okay.
So she was the wife of the military guy. She drove by and you know, thankful, and it's a good experience. I mean, it's very rewarding, and you know, good
There's
experience.
a lot of stories about from other people I've heard too, like leaving tips, because in America leaving tips is very common, but they don't do that in Japan. And stories of like people who go after them with like the extra, you know, couple bucks, being like, you left this here, and they're like, no, it's for you. They're like, no, we don't do that.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that. Or like you know, just like generosity, right? Like I heard before we went to Japan. Someone told me a story about he and his dad went when he was younger, and they needed directions. And this guy is like, you know, cleaning his front store, saw them getting lost. Like they somehow communicated like, where you're going, and the guy was like, oh, I know where it is. Let me show you. He walked several blocks down to show them where it was. Yeah. They were like, he didn't have to do that, but they were so kind.
But they did do that.
They did do that.
I
you
did
know.
experience the same one when we were like going around.
They're just like,
you did.
you know.
Yeah, it's
What
just
happened? What
amazing. So
happened?
I rode the train, right? Almost exactly the same. So somehow I get lost. I lost my bearing about the thing, because when you get out of the train, you don't know if you're going left or right, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'm going to this fall. So finally, I was able to communicate with the Japanese that doesn't really speak English. Old guy, probably about 60 or 70-year-old guy, right? Okay. She actually, because So she just motioned to me to follow him. But and then we walked, like you said, for several blocks. I thought that's her way as well, his way as well. But as soon as I find that corner, he said, "Just go straight."
Pointing that way.
Yeah, after so many turns, and then he went back. And I watch him because, I hope I didn't bother this guy, right? He actually went on where we got off the train and went the other way.
He went the other way?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
Wild.
I mean, Japan and Japanese people, I'm number one fan, really.
There was a time
Yeah, you
that-
are a number one fan.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. It was all this good experience. And I like, the other one is, I like the bowing thing. I think it's very respectful every time they go, gozaimasu.
Like a-
And
like a
now
greeting.
I'm part of it too. I go do it even though I come home.
It's the habit now.
Yeah.
It is.
For me,
yeah.
it is
I do
a
it too.
form of respect. It's a
Well,
very,
we
very
did
good
it a lot
form
for
of
work
respect.
sometimes.
We did it for work, but like even then, I've like carried it like where if I'm talking to someone and like I'm ending the conversation, I nod my head down. I'm
Yeah, I nod my
yes.
head.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Correct.
we weren't even like supposed to do it for work, but when everyone else does it too,
It's hard to not do it
you
when
kinda,
everyone
like,
does it.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, you have to act like Western, but I was like, no, I can't. Everyone else is doing it around me. I have to do it too.
Yeah. And not just one, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times, and it's unending.
Oh yeah, yeah. They want to be like the last person to show humility.
Yeah, who speaks
That
last?
chain of like, yeah, like sometimes I'll see like 2 salarymen. They've been drinking together, and then like they're at the train, and they won't stop.
Yeah.
They're bowing to each other like, "Oh, it was a pleasure." No,
I
it was
like
a pleasure.
that.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
pleasure.
it is.
Yeah, they're bowing. Yeah,
It's the Asian humility thing.
it is humility. Yeah.
Like for red envelopes. No, I don't need it. Yes, you need it. And then
Yeah.
the argument of like being last, to take or accept something.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many interesting aspects of Japanese culture, even apart from like mannerisms and things like that.
Yeah, very
There's
different.
mannerisms, places, the food.
The
We should
food.
probably start talking about the food in
oh.
Japan. What you have something to say, Dad, about the food in Japan?
Well, every region or every place they have their own specialty, right? I mean, other than the general sushi and stuff like that, right? Now, Yokosuka is famous for their what do you call this? The chili, the
Chili?
Chili,
chili,
The- pepper,
the hot,
Sauce?
the hot.
Okay,
It
I'm
says
getting there.
something spicy.
Curry.
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 Oh, the hot spicy curry.
Spicy
Hot
curry.
spicy curry. So they have that Yokosuka Gaikun curry on there. That's like
Ooh.
And I heard the story of it because there were soldiers there before, and all kinds of fusion kind of curry in there. And then that's what Yokosuka is known for, is their curry
The
stuff.
curry. Mm.
I don't know if how about Chiba, were there like famous stuff like that in there, or
Chiba?
What would
Yeah.
you say? Yeah. What was famous in Chiba?
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
I remember I would ask my students,
yeah.
because they need to come up with a prompt like about their hometown. So I used the county, the prefecture as an example. They would be like, peanuts? But they're like, it's not special. But peanuts, there's like the Pocky factory or something. There's like specialty cities that have factories, or someone's like, yeah, I'm from up north. Soy sauce is made in my hometown. Kikkoman. Where everyone's like, whoa, Kikkoman.
Yeah.
You can get tours and give it, free food and samples.
There is one section of Chiba where they eat bugs, like a lot of bugs.
Oh.
Really? I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
it's like a main dish over there where they're eating. I think I don't know what it is. It might be mosquitoes even. It could be like grasshoppers. Oh, I think it's grasshoppers. Yeah.
But I asked my students like, what's the weirdest thing you've eaten, and some of them have said the grasshoppers.
Mine was also
Inako.
grasshopper.
Yeah. Oh, because we're in the same area.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
I
you
mean, my
mean you.
answer is also grasshopper, but that was in China.
Oh, you. Well, some people said it tasted okay.
It tastes like chips. Tastes like potato chips, lightly salted. It's hella
Because you
good.
fry it and it doesn't taste like anything else but like fried oil.
Because they crisp it like incredibly thin.
That's
Like
right.
then
Is
it's
that
just
air
eating like
fryer?
chips.
That's why probably if you close your eye and eat it, you won't even know.
like
Oh,
fried chicken skin.
Now there's an idea.
No, that's
You close
not.
your eye and put it in your mouth, man. That's it. Mm.
That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, we actually, you know, in our time in Japan, we kind of became like foodies, to be honest.
Well, yeah, there's so much more
We
opportunity.
like hunted food down in Tokyo.
There's
Not-
a lot of
not as much as other
variety
people.
in there, you know,
Yeah.
food-wise. I mean, a lot of restaurants here and there, and bakeries as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're so big on
Look
I
at
always
it,
thought,
right?
yeah, like in anime, it's always like, oh, let's go to the local bakery. And I was like, you can't have that many bakeries. Then we
There
went
are
to
that
Japan.
many bakeries.
That's right.
So every block has a bakery and a cafe.
Bakery, cafe, kombini.
You know,
Bakery, cafe,
yeah.
kombini.
I never thought that they would eat so many carbs, you know, but they do.
Well, I mean, they have a high rice diet, so like, you know, bread probably you could just swap it out for one meal and it's the
I
same
guess,
carb amount.
yeah. It's just interesting that, like, you know, people are always like, you know, the carb diet, and they're like, yeah, we always eat carbs here too.
They eat carbs a lot. They just eat less in general.
That's the
You
They
know?
eat less.
Yeah.
They also tend to walk more.
Plus,
Yeah.
it looks like a balanced diet. You know, when they give you a tray of food,
They
right?
do, yeah. It's really focused.
Small
Miso and
miso,
stuff like that, yeah.
and then there's this, you know,
Pickled ginger?
yeah, you
That's
know,
right,
the
their
small
palate.
stuff
The little
in there.
pickled veggies,
yeah,
right, that you eat
pickled
over
veggies
time.
in there.
Yeah.
That's a salad in there, small vegetable salad, and
Some
it's good eating.
protein,
That's
usually.
correct.
Yeah, it's very balanced, whatever you get.
Yeah.
Well,
the way they put
if
it
you get a
together.
set. If you get like a katsudan, that's all carbs.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's very classy, you know, like you're supposed to like drink the miso so that your stomach settles first, like gets
Correct.
ready to eat food.
Mhm.
Like you're sating your mouth first so it's
Mhm.
ready to start eating faster, like digesting and stuff.
Right.
And then when you eat the main course, eventually your taste is gonna run out. You're gonna like get used to the food. So you eat the pickled ginger to
That's right.
refresh your taste.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing,
that's
yeah.
how you switch between different foods so
Yeah.
the taste doesn't mix too much.
Yeah, it's like fancy. I don't know how else I would say it.
Although half the time we ate like just, you know, ramen udon or
Yeah.
katsudan.
Okay, I mean, yeah. There's also the other side, the street food and stuff, where it's
Street
like
food.
just eat this bowl of whatever with a spoon or no
Yeah.
chopsticks. Sorry.
Or spoons
Chopsticks.
sometimes. They do give spoons for like gratins.
Oh yeah,
Pasta.
gratine.
Gratine, pasta, of course. Italian food is very popular there.
That's correct. I noticed that. Looks like there's a big influence with the French in there, with their breads as well. I mean,
Oh, the baguette.
even the names
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
baguettes.
The
Paris
names of them,
baguette.
Paris
like,
baguette.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just like, yeah, like, oh, bread. To make it authentic, it must be French or something.
Right.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of family diners that are Italian themed.
Yeah.
What was the one that we used to go to?
Which one?
The Italian family diner.
Caesarea.
Caesarea, yeah.
There you go.
You know, pasta, pizza.
So good for being like what Denny's basically is to people.
It's
it
a
was
lot-
so
yeah.
good.
All the food is a much higher quality.
Yes.
It's on a different standard. It's on a different level.
I think they're proud of how they prepare their food, how
I
they
think
cook
so.
their food. It's like very careful. Even the presentation is there.
Meticulous.
That's
you know?
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, it is. It's like just slapping a thing in there here. No, it's actually carefully prepared.
Yeah, everything is good. The fruit's expensive because they don't have as much land to grow it, but anything you eat then is very sweet. There's no like, oh, this one's kind of bland and this one's good. It's like standard.
There's
all
no
the way.
bruised fruit on there. It's all perfect
Oh, hell
fruit.
no. Yeah, fruit's expensive, so like you gift it as like a special.
It actually
kind of thing
is like raw produce is pretty hard to
to
get.
come across. Yeah, it's just so nice.
Well, in Cusco, there was a what you call a mikasa over there. It's like an open market. It's like a thing, you buy fresh vegetables every day.
Kind of like a
and
swap meat or like
it's
a.
yeah,
market?
it's
Oh,
right
wow.
there. You pick, but vegetables are really cheap. The fish are expensive. There's like
Oh yeah, the good
raw
fish.
fish in there and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Expensive. And fruits, like you mentioned, it's expensive. That's the only place I've seen an apple for like $20 or something.
Wait, really?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was probably the fancy one.
The fancy one. So even the mango is like $30 for a mango, right?
Wow.
But as the day passes by, and then it comes down because now it's real sweet and soft. So I tried it. It's really good. But I guess the way they raise that whatever fruit, it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
The way they
to
made
grow it in that quality is like
correct.
that would cost money, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constant care of the plant.
There's always I think every spring or summer, they have a bidding for like the first fruit, like a melon or something
Yeah.
of the year, and it gets to like the millions and stuff like that. It's not like fancy and expensive. But yeah, you can get like normal fruit, just like farmers market price here.
That's
like
correct.
it's so expensive, you probably wouldn't buy that normally. Like a $5 for like apples, not the best.
I saw a watermelon for like $45.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's like $45, but it was pretty big. It probably would be absolutely delicious to eat. I'm not spending $45 on a watermelon.
Yeah.
I think the one I noticed there is the packaging.
Oh my
So
gosh,
that's the
Japanese
plastic alone, like
packaging.
probably add to the price, right? Because
Yeah.
it's very fancy. They have that foam underneath. It's like plastic around it. It's like gold leaflet around it.
Yeah.
That's why probably expensive. But I'm sure, because I noticed I'm on the TV, like a show.
Mm-hmm.
They actually, measure the sugar content of that. It shouldn't be. There's a limit. So at that time, it's expensive the way they raise these fruits in there.
Oh, I do know someone who ate a $60 one though. But he was like, it kind of just tasted like a normal cantaloupe. But he's a farmer, so he's probably used to good ones. Because he went there for business.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the guy treated me to the ones like behind the glass shelf. The shopkeeper had to unlock it and like ask him which one did you want, carefully wrap it.
Actually, in our old job, like a few of my students like brought that up. Like that was their like. That was one of the things they thought about America. Like when they came to the U.S., there would just be fruits everywhere for cheap. And they're like, oh, it would be amazing. And I'd be like, it wouldn't be that amazing. If you went to a supermarket in the U.S., like you're not getting like these top tier fruits like you're getting. But you can get them for cheap and like you can get a lot. But
yeah, it's hit or miss.
Don't expect too much.
That's right.
I feel like it was like the same price as the farmer's market here,
Yeah.
for high quality ones. But yeah, you can go Safeway and get a lot, but they'd probably be really disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fruits.
I remember you'd be so desperate for like getting fresh fruit. You would buy those fruit cups from the convenies. You would like they would be like suspended in gelatin, but you wouldn't really care about the gelatin. You would just try to get the fruit.
No, I don't like Jello.
Oh,
I like
syrup. It was in fruit syrup, but you were like you're going past the syrup to get to the fruits.
Yeah, I'm a fruit person. I always grew up eating fruit, so it was weird that like I go to the supermarket in Japan and the fruit section is like this tiny 5x5 space, even in like a big market, and I have to pay so much for like apple or like general fruits, grapes,
and they're all
so
individually
expensive.
wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, there's the thing about Japanese packaging is that it is triple wrapped in plastic.
It's for health. I think it's like safety
And like presentation.
preservation.
Right.
Preservation, but presentation for a lot of it. Like, so we get gifts from students like, oh, I wasn't here last week for class because I traveled, so I brought back a souvenir. And we're like, sweet, snacks between work. But then we'd open the first box, and then there's another box. You open that, and each one's in their own bag, which comes in another bag. And it's just like, what's about this plastic, or paper?
I don't know how they get away with that.
Well,
I guess their recycling programs are like amazing.
Yeah, it is a lot better than here. I don't know about other countries, but they are working on slowing that down. Like the convenience, 7-Eleven, Family Mart, are changing to eco-friendly packaging in the next year or so, supposedly.
They also started charging for plastic bags while we were there.
Oh yeah, that became new.
Yes.
They started a plastic tax.
3 yen for they actually charge you.
That's like the first time that's happened in Japan. I think it annoyed a lot of people.
I
actually.
remember the week before, we went down to Quick Mart. I don't know, something for lunch, and his cashier gave us nice bags, like the ones you pay for at a store, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. But then the next week they charged me extra, and I realized that he gave us those bags because we always go there. So he was like, bring this every time so you don't have to pay for an extra bag. Was
that the message he was trying to give you?
Well, I don't know about the message, but like he gave us those bags. They were nice, and they're like hard duty plastic ones to reuse. But then the next week, I was like, why is he asking me for another 5 yen? I was like, oh.
Did you bring back the bag the next time?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was good. I kept it at work, so yeah. Or I didn't use the bag, just carried it up the elevator.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I kind of got annoyed at. And also like the trash situation. Having to figure out when
I didn't have to deal with that as much.
You didn't have to.
Yours was a very special case of like really mean landlords about trash.
Well, not just me. It's just like that's how it's supposed to be in
that's
my
how it's
city.
Supposed to be. It's true, but like
that made
my landlord did not give a shit about like when I threw away trash.
Yeah, I still remember Tuesdays and Fridays are normal trash, recycles on Wednesday, paper recycle, and like the strange ones are every other week on Thursdays. And I had to like follow that to a T.
If you're gonna be moving to Japan, you better get used to organization.
I mean, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
When I came back here for a while, I was like, I can just throw this anywhere. It was kind of weird because I don't know. I think it's good for them to do that. But yeah, that means like when you move, it's a lot of work. It was so hard to get rid of everything when I was leaving.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, especially because I had no one else taking our spot, right? Previous people had left all their stuff for me that I never used, and then I had to throw their stuff away when I left.
For the majority of people, I feel like it's not going to be that annoying. You had a very special case.
If you're like moving from place to place in Japan, I'm sure you could bring it with you, but it's just kind of a difficulty we don't have here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get back to your story, Dad. So you were stuck in your room, and then you got stuck in Yokosuka, and you could back around, and that was about it. And then something changed, right? They unlocked some more areas.
That's correct. So after about 4 months of what I call Charlie condition,
conditions,
they brought it on to Bravo. I guess the condition got better. You know what I'm saying? So probably less COVID-19 infections around Yokosuka. So it's actually on Facebook. So they call it a CFA. It's a Commander of Fleet Activities Yokosuka. We were told if you want to check the daily conditions of whatever areas you can go to, is check it on Facebook. Okay, so it says there it's a military Facebook page, and I will tell you a map to where if it's a green prefecture, you can go there. Also, I mean, they open up, of course, the public transportation for me now, for everyone.
Oh.
So that was a relief for me. The first weekend that they opened, I went on a train, did the reservation online for your hotel, which is really cheap because during that time, Japan's going to that go-to travel incentive to where they give it to the domestic travels only. So you can go, because I mean nobody's staying for now everywhere, right? It's empty hotels or ryokan, right?
Right,
They started opening it to people, and during that time they're giving like 40-50% off for your stay out there.
So massive discounts.
That's
but
correct.
It's domestic only. So
Domestic.
Like within Japan, you can go somewhere for super
That's
cheap.
And
correct.
for the most part, for go-to, it has to be in your own prefecture.
For the most part.
For the most
not all the way.
But I mean, that's
Not
still
all.
nice. You can have a staycation in like the next town over or whatever.
Well, you cannot. It actually opens the whole Japan, right? For this go-to. So you go to. They only recommend Booking.com.
Yeah, that's like where it comes. That's like where you apply the discount.
That's correct.
Booking.
It
Government,
automatically applies the discount, and then they'll open up the places in there. If you're going to, tell me where you want to go. You want to go to like Hakone, and it will list all the places in there, and you can save, for example, like $20.
Yeah, I heard someone stayed at a hotel for $30.
That's
like a
correct.
5-star one.
$30 total.
Total, yeah.
Total.
For a
Total,
staycation.
yeah.
And they're like, it was nice. I had like wine and it felt fancy, right?
And the other good thing about that COVID-19 that brought about with travels around Japan is there's less people to deal with.
Yeah, we had that when we went to Kyoto.
Usually it's all crowded everywhere you go, right? But somehow, and then people start picking up. In the last couple of months I was there, and then there's more and more people going out. So it's just perfect timing. Took advantage of that time, and was something good, during the pandemic.
That is like the perfect storm for like going on vacations and trips, like discounts, no crowds.
That's right.
And what, blah blah blah. You're in
Perfect.
Japan. You're already in Japan. That's number 3. Wow.
You just have to, risk the main problem.
You do have to risk infection and stuff, but probably the rate of infection was super low in Japan at that point.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, that's true. If you're avoiding major cities and like working, right?
I mean, we're kind of disillusioned. We're living in the U.S. Like we're used to seeing that infection rate going up and up because people aren't respecting the rules.
Correct.
But in Japan, I'm sure it's been going down and down instead.
No, it hasn't.
Or at least fluctuating.
Yeah, it fluctuates.
It fluctuates.
correct.
Like, to keep it real, it goes up and down, and they're not sure how to deal with it because, it's a struggle. Your economy versus, like, safety and how you're going to balance that out. Of course, it's not like here.
They're still
of course.
doing a much better job.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure.
they are.
I'm sure their total cases is like a tiny fraction.
Compared to here, for
That's
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm honestly, if I was in your position, like I would totally go on these trips as well.
Mm.
Just knowing that, you know, the country as a whole has it more in control than most of the world.
Well, we did get to do that. when
We did get to do that. We did do that when we went to Kyoto.
Yeah, right before we had the official lockdown.
The official lockdown, we just escaped it when we went to Kyoto.
Mhm.
Where did you end up going when the more of Japan opened up?
I went all the way to I think the furthest away was Nikko town.
You went to Nikko.
That's past north of Tokyo.
That is
Yes.
north of Tokyo,
So-
a fair amount.
Guess what? I like
Yeah.
to go to Tokyo itself, but it's still off limits for military personnel going to Tokyo. You know how Tokyo
The
just where the-
Busy, yeah.
busy
right.
busy
But
area.
I can
Populated.
transit through over there. That's all.
You can go through Tokyo, but
That's
you can't
correct.
stop in Tokyo
You
and do
cannot
stuff
stop
there.
and look around. So past that's Nikko. Nikko's a great town. We were chasing the fall season. That's why
Oh.
the color.
The leaf changing color and
correct,
stuff.
changing
It's famous
colors.
for that.
Yeah. We were kind of late. But we caught some good colors over there. The fall. Is that what you call fall, right?
Yeah.
Fall,
Yeah.
autumn. Mhm.
The
But
autumn colors.
and then we found out that actually you gotta go south of Kanagawa where Yokosuka is because the fall there is kind of late. Northern part it's
It
already
starts
almost
earlier
gone.
and
All
then
the
leaves.
trees are like leaves are all already on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow Kanagawa and below,
Mm-hmm.
south of Tokyo, is still happening. So
Cool.
Yeah, they said that East and West has different weather patterns too.
right.
So if you miss it one part, you go to the other part, and it's a lot easier to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was also I want to go to Hokkaido at that time because they're also giving discounts on the bullet train,
Uh-huh.
the
Oh.
Shinkansen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
they
like
have a lot of
50-70% of the ticket for like 2 days. You buy this for like $100 that usually costs $3 or so because it's unlimited use. They give you that unlimited use for 2 days. That's like a big discount.
Yeah.
But somehow I got busy with work and because you need at least 2 or 3 days.
You need to secure a lot of time for Hokkaido. Yeah.
to Hokkaido over there and kind of soak everything up for like several days. But it's all right. I'm still thankful I was able to see most of Japan during that time, and there's always next time.
Let's go to Hokkaido next time.
Yeah, Hokkaido's a big one. I want to go to Sapporo. Get some
Yeah.
beer.
The thing with
See some
that
snow.
is
Mm-hmm.
that right,
The
it's
snow
snow, right?
festival.
So I only plan for like being in Japan for the summer. So guess what? I brought all my shorts and t-shirts. We got extended there because of this pandemic, and it got busy in the ship-repair facility over there. They need us there, so I got extended there several weeks or
Months?
total 6 months
Maybe even
now.
months.
Yeah.
and I have to buy some a cold weather gear because it got cold on me.
Mm.
So I'm not really built for Hokkaido at that time. I mean, Kanagawa is kind of still temperate zone, not too cold. So when you go Hokkaido, guess what? You need some thicker jackets, right?
Oh yeah. I
My
mean,
coworkers.
even when we
also
went to
shopping.
That's
Nikko.
right.
even when we went to Nikko, that might be like the coldest I'd ever felt.
Oh yeah, you've never been anywhere that cold, but yeah, it was.
man.
I was just
yeah.
I was wearing like jeans with nothing under and like
Yeah.
boots.
I was
You'll
like,
be
"What
freezing.
are you doing?" You're
Yeah.
like, "Let's go," and we went, and you were like, "It's cold." I was
It
like,
is
"What
cold.
did you expect when it's snowing here?" You like never had snow before.
I've dealt with like
Yeah.
mildly cold places, you know, like when we go on vacation into like Big Bear and stuff.
Mhm.
But you know, I'm not built for cold weather in general. I
yeah.
feel.
What we learned was great was Heat Tech from Uniqlo.
Uniqlo Heat Tech.
And also
Shout outs.
the-
That's correct. Yes.
Sponsor us.
the hand warmers or like the heated warmers.
The little bag hand warmer, right?
You buy it at
Oh.
the convenience store.
And you just
Because
crack it up.
I left my boots at his place, but we went from my place, so I was wearing sneakers
Mm.
in the snow. And I got the foot warmer or like sticky warmers, and I put them in my shoes, and oh my gosh, it made
Yes.
such a difference. It was nice though. I still have I have all the photos, of course, but I have a photo of us by the lake at Nikko as my
Nice.
Facebook
Yeah,
header.
there you go.
It's so clean in the winter.
Mhm.
The water was like crazy
The water,
clear.
the sky was like so clear. I mean, it's not like a city, so you get away into like nature. It's a national park.
In terms of nature, that's probably like the most pristine place I'd ever been.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
It feels like there's nothing like in the air to really like, you know, like city fumes. There's no fumes in the air. Right, it's just like trees making oxygen is delicious.
Yeah, right? Like I've been to national parks, but like I always feel like, oh, like I've been to places.
National parks got nothing.
Yeah, like
Nico.
You know, like Yosemite or whatever. Like, oh, but like there's always, I know there's people around, but here it's like cold, crisp, clean. It was nice. Yeah, that was great.
So were these all solo trips, like your Nico trip and like going to like Hakone? So pretty much solo?
Oh, we didn't go to Hakone.
Solo is the way to go. If you ask me, you don't need to wait for nobody. But you can't find any comfort to where if you get lost, you're on your own.
You're on your own. You can't look at somebody and be like, oh no.
Man, you gotta find some.
You chose the wrong way.
But I find it very, interesting as well. You know, get just the train rides and the bus rides here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get lost, you actually found another place to look at. I mean, it's amazing.
It's easy to
just
explore.
Enjoy it. Yeah, if you get lost, enjoy that place where you get lost and look around. And like I said, you feel safe anyway. It doesn't matter what time. You can go back to where you come from.
Yeah, like having free time in Japan to just walk around is like a unique experience in itself.
It is very no stress. It's just relaxing for me.
There's a cafe in every corner in case you get lost. You need to sit down.
Yeah, there's just like bits of comfort everywhere.
Yeah, we'd like go somewhere. We'd see someplace cool and be like, let's eat there for lunch. You know, just check it out or just go by it. It's fun.
Yeah, I especially like, you know, just picking like random places in Tokyo to just kind of drop in and just see what's up and take a nice walk from like instead of taking the station like one extra stop, just stop one stop early and walk over and see what you find. You're guaranteed to have a good time, or you're guaranteed to just at least
see cool stuff.
Yeah, see cool stuff. Have a cruise.
Other than also, other than the Nikko one, the best place I've been in the last 6 months over there was just a recommendation from one of I heard over there, Oshino Hakai. So it's close by Mount Fuji. They have all these ponds in there, and even some of my Japanese co-workers that was born and raised over there, they never heard of the place. And and only a few of them knows that place, and some of them are surprised. Oh, you're going there? Yes, okay. I've been there. It's very, very beautiful, and that's how I got. You know, I spent 2 nights over there. It was amazing. Every day you see Mount Fuji with its different faces. You know, yellow at times, and then it's just amazing. And then the place is just so relaxing.
It's like a small town, like
very small town, very small.
Not a tourist spot, really.
Not a tourist spot.
I think I've heard of it though. Like one of my students.
Mostly
told me
locals.
About it.
Locals, yeah.
You see locals in there.
Well, that's always the best kind of places.
Yeah. I had a student. I think he grew up around there, and he told me about how he would go back every year to check out this place where you can see Mount Fuji in different ways. Yeah.
That's so cool. What were you able to do in Oshinohakai?
Well, you know, it's close by where that place was, but guess what? The owner, who I spent the time.
The owner of like your
the owner
hotel?
of the inn or the hostel or whatever, he lets me borrow this bike.
Oh, cool!
And when I get a bike, I can bike for miles.
Nature.
Right at home.
That's correct. Just riding, and guess what? I found different places and parks and something that's like not even on the map that I enjoy going into. When I see a family or something that's like going into something like a bridge or something, I just follow, and guess what? There is a park in there that you actually pay and enjoy the place.
Okay, so it's like a nature spot.
It's a nature spot. And you can go farther if you want to, because you can go around basically Mount Fuji, and I think there's like 7 lakes around Mount Fuji. 6 or 7 lakes. That's like if you have a bike, you can bike the place.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
And Nico's 42 turn bus ride.
Oh God! So in Nico, there was this bus, and it's like a famous bus path.
It's a famous road. It doesn't have to be a bus.
It's
Okay.
a
It's a road called. Is it 42?
No, it's like 26, isn't it,
26,
for the alphabet?
Is it no? Is it the alphabet? The Japanese alphabet.
The Japanese alphabet, right?
How many?
So
There's a lot of turns,
so yeah,
and it's a little precarious.
it's not just turns; it's literally constantly winding. Like
Yeah.
you're never not turning.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very
And,
famous
like,
for that.
And like the number of turns is like each turn is also a letter of the Japanese alphabet.
Mm.
So like as you're going through, you can see like there's a sign for all of the letters. And like our bus was so full of like tourists going to Nico
It was so cold.
that, like,
yeah.
like when we went around a turn, like I was sure we were going off the mountain. I was sure we were gonna die.
Yeah, so we were specifically, I was squashed right up to the bus driver's like spot. Like he has that guard that separates him from people, but I was like squashed. So I saw the whole front, and when we
It was
turned,
horrifying.
I could tell the driver himself.
I know where that is. Yeah, it is there.
Yeah, I mean you can drive with your car there, but like with a bus.
Yeah, on a
like,
public bus full of like
It was
70 people,
it was
maybe.
stuffed.
Yeah.
Like we were all really like a typical.
That's right.
Like,
That's
Jack-
right.
You literally
Subway.
couldn't move.
Yeah, I was like into someone else's elbow and stuff like that. But like every time we got close to the edge, like, the guy just
That's
Whipped
correct.
the wheel around
Yeah.
like crazy.
Especially
Crazy.
coming down, right? Yeah. This guy's not slowing down,
and I
right?
would just
Yeah,
think
that's
like,
the
I
one.
wonder if he has like ultimate insurance or something.
This guy probably had so much stress going down that
I could,
bus
like,
road.
tell-
I sympathize with him. He
Yeah.
looked like he was kind of freaking out.
It was because it was so cold.
You're gonna die, right?
And it's only
And
yeah.
These 70 people are gonna die, and it's gonna be like your fault because you couldn't
Yeah.
drive down this road.
Or,
He
like,
made
you're
it though.
gonna-
He made it.
He
in
made
all
it.
his glory.
Or maybe just like you're gonna block the road, right? That's like
You
the
could-
one road.
Yeah, you might block the one road.
And that it would get
down.
you into so much trouble.
And the path was snowy. And
Yeah.
It's not a clear road.
That
Oh,
was
that's-
good. Now I remember. Now that's where that black egg was, because that's why that car's going up, because now you gotta catch that cable car
Yeah. The cable
We
car.
missed
It was
it.
it was
And you'll be,
close
like,
to the high winds.
on top of this the volcano. Really, it's like
Uh-huh.
smoking. That's where it's at. You're right. It's all the way up.
It's a cool place to be in.
It is a
Cool
super
place.
cool
There's
place.
a place a little north of it that's supposed to be really good too.
And
What
all
place?
the
I forgot where. Yeah.
waterfalls are in there too.
No, I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you stop on all those stop, if you have time, I like to see in there.
Well, the main one, Kinagawa Falls?
Oh, Kinugawa.
Kinugawa Falls.
Kinugawa Falls. I think you have a picture there. I have a
That's
picture
correct.
there.
Picture
Yeah,
there,
you have
yeah.
a picture there.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
I think I got a
yes.
coin from there.
Yeah.
You know, like I pressed like a 1 yen until I, or like you know, a
Mm.
penny or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
good.
they have a lot of different fancy ways of doing that. Or like if you pay $5, you get like a medal of the place.
Mm.
And they have that for all of their touristy areas. And you can collect them all. Yeah. Oh, or the if you go to the main shrines in Japan, you bring I forgot what it's
A
called.
stamp book.
A stamp no, but the Japanese
No,
name.
I don't know the Japanese name.
Yeah, like my coworker did this, but you bring the special book you get at the shrine that's like really hardcover, and each shrine will give you a stamp or like handwritten signature of their shrine, so you can collect all of them. And it's really
Yeah.
cool.
They're like unique little stamps for your book, right? Like you collect them like badges, kind of.
Yeah, and some of them give you like the stamp and then do like a handwritten signature thing.
Yeah, some
It's
people are really into that.
Yeah, it's big. One of my students brought in theirs to show like how they completed it. So like they've gone to all of those places. That's kind of insane. Like
That's wild.
you literally go through the whole country to get all of them.
Mhm.
So yeah, my coworker does that too. He's like slowly getting them from each place he can.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of special.
That is nice. That's nice.
I kind of wish we did that. It'd be
I wish
cool.
we. Yeah, we
But-
kind of learned about it like a few months in. So-
Yeah, so it wasn't really worth going back to where we had already gone. I think it was like after New Year's that I really learned about it, and we missed out. So I was like, no.
No skin off my bone. I feel like I visit a shrine, I enjoy it, and then that's all I need.
Yeah, I try to buy one souvenir from each shrine.
Yeah, we try to get the good luck charms, right?
The omamori, yeah.
Yeah.
I got one from like each place.
Did you get any cool souvenirs, Dad?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything I can buy and kind of that interests me and stuff. I've showed you the horseshoe and the arrow, the golden arrow.
The golden
that,
arrow.
Yeah.
That's a good luck one. Yeah.
You got some crazy stuff. A golden
Yeah.
horseshoe, an arrow,
gold.
Yeah.
Gold seems
a
like
ninja
common.
mask.
The ninja mask is just a lot of things to see and a lot of things to buy if you really, into it, and it's worth buying. Really, good experience. Very good experience.
I remember on your very, very first trip to Japan, like I was like 8 or I was like 9, and you came back and you had a PSP for me. Like a Japanese PSP. Yeah.
Oh,
When
wow.
the PSP first came out, I had it early because my dad came back from Japan, and he also gave me like a little ninja headband. That's cool.
Of course, yeah. Karate Kid.
Early weed.
That was your very, very first time in Japan, right? Like 2000.
That's
what,
correct.
like
Yeah,
7,
I was on a
2008.
job there. That's correct.
Wow.
Do you remember
Did the
anything about
PSP
that
work,
trip?
though?
Like, do you remember like how you felt? Like your very first time dropping in
I was
there?
in Sasebo.
Sasebo.
So it's more
Oh, yeah,
south.
yeah.
It's also a Navy base. As you know, any country that you visited for the first time, there's that anxiety. Whatever you feel, getting lost. I mean,
Anxiety.
all this
Language barrier.
Language barrier. I mean, but as well that excitement, and you're happy to be there.
Just different things, right?
Just different things.
different.
I mean, you get out, and actually, it's more like that one's totally different because you fly into Narita, but then you gotta catch my first time in Japan, right? Then you gotta catch a domestic flight to Fukuoka. Guess how you navigate yourself in there. Oh, where's the domestic flight here? But you can get that instruction before you even leave USA anyway. And then you gotta catch the bus from Fukuoka to Sasebo for like another 2-hour bus ride. I enjoyed that bus ride the first time. I can tell it's very green, a lot of waterways.
Mom.
The
Sorry,
grass-
my mom's in the background. Just don't worry about it.
The grass is greener in other places. Yeah, no. When we first got to Japan, I don't know. I felt like the scene. It just feels different.
That's correct. Yeah.
The sky looks different. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe it's true. It's clean. I don't know if it's getting cleaner, but it just looks. The scenery is different, and it's very.
Wait,
fun to
I
enjoy.
got lost. What are we talking about?
Just like when you go to someplace
The first
new.
time.
Oh, the very first time. Oh,
And
man.
then it's like I was saying, like the grass is greener. Like you never experienced it, so it feels different.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like all my scenery photos in Japan look a lot better than here.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, they just maintain nature better.
They do.
They
yeah.
respect nature more than we do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they put more money into it as a nation.
Yeah, and just like how things look, like typical city view still
Right.
somehow looks nice. Versus like I don't know, take a random city view here and it's just like blocks and blocks.
I know. Yeah, I know. Like what we're describing is very vague. Like it's just nicer, but it's actually true.
Yeah,
Well, if you ever go to Japan, you'll know.
Yeah, there's people who have like researched and wrote stuff about like this the way it looks in Japan.
This phenomenon.
It's just like why do people like Japanese roads so much? And I read it a long time ago, but it's like an actual thing. It just
It's an
looks
actual
better.
thing, right? It just looks better.
Yeah. They do everything in detail. They finish,
Yeah, you can
it's
just
all very detailed.
you
Everything.
can just look at something small in a photo and be like, recognize it. Like the Koban, the police box on my way to work. They have little planters, right? Little flower box in the front, and I would just see every morning. I'd look at it because the flower box has a flower design on it that's also a face of a person, and I was just like, that's so cute. But like you wouldn't see this in any other country. It's just like Japan being like, oh, we must make it look nice. So this one's also like a flower that becomes a face. So when you look at it, you see a face. And I'm like, it's so random,
It is
but I
random.
enjoy it.
It is
lot.
nice.
Yeah, that's right. There's like hidden figures in there that if you look closer,
Mhm.
just like what I noticed there, the storm drains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the manholes, the city manholes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the manholes right here. You only see one design.
Yeah,
Over there, it's all different.
it's all different.
Oh, it
Colorful.
matches. It
There's all
matches
Different
the
city stamps. Some of them are painted. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, bridges all have special designs, and like it felt like the streets that I lived on when I turned onto that street, I noticed the light poles.
Mm-hmm.
They're flowers,
That's right.
like flower bulbs. But if I went to your city, they're completely different design.
They are different.
I was like, wow, they put a lot of effort into designing each place. You know, it's not like in the U.S. it's so big and vast, and we have like a very grid system. It's just blocky.
It pays off. Like, you know, people appreciate how Japan looks. Just a little extra effort.
It's so different. It's cool.
Always like there's a surprise every day. So I was there in the same street, hotel, going out, right? Every day I pass by it, regular street. But in the last 2 months I started looking more. I didn't know that there's right there is the Empire State Building, the miniature one.
A miniature Empire State Building.
I always pass by every day. And I was like, oh, this
is an Empire State Building.
And then on the other corner, I look up. There's a Statue of Liberty on top of the hotel. It's huge. It's probably about 10, 15 feet tall. Like I said, I mean, being there for like 6 months, and I only noticed it in the last. So I started paying more attention.
It's fun, yeah.
It's totally fun to find these little Easter eggs.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things is just when we're on like the Shinkansen or just on the train, and like seeing the different places we pass through.
Yeah.
It's just like my kind of pastime. I like to see it, like the lives of the people in each area and like what they do.
The daily life stuff.
It's cool because like where we live, you can pass through like urban places, and then it gets to like farms for a couple minutes straight. And I was like, where does this rice field come from in the middle of like the street?
That is true. I noticed that every piece of land that they can utilize to plant something, even it's like a 6 by 6 meters of a land, they plant rice in there.
Yeah, they do use the land as much as possible.
The land, yeah.
It's interesting.
I like.
All right, so let's jump to maybe like one last topic. Sounds about good. Let's give a recommendation to people that are gonna go to Japan in the future. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to give a food recommendation. Like, there's tons of places that we've been that I like, but I'm gonna give a food recommendation. You should go to Henry's Burgers in Tokyo. Oh my god. I stole it from you. I'm sorry. I know you're also thinking about it. But if you think Japan can't do Western burgers, you're 100% wrong. That's actually still the best Western-style burger I've ever had. Is in Tokyo. Henry's Burgers. They use A5 Wagyu beef. They pound it all together into a patty, and they fry it up, and you ask for how many patties you want, how much cheese you want. That's it. Like, that's the magic of it, how simple it is. And I like the story of the restaurant. Like, Henry's is like a different a guy who makes like a Wagyu steak restaurant noticed that he had a lot of leftovers from like how he had to cut off the parts, the fat and stuff that didn't fit into the steaks, the Wagyu steaks that he made at his restaurant. And he was collecting all this extra stuff, and he suddenly thought, like, why don't I just make like burgers out of these like extra pieces of meat that don't go into my steak restaurant? And there it is, like, it's born. He decided, all right, let's open this burger restaurant. And they have like 2 locations, so I'm assuming they're doing really well.
Oh, one of them closed.
One of the locations closed down because of COVID.
Because of COVID. I don't know if it temporary closed down. The storefront's closed.
It permanently closed down.
It permanently?
Yeah, I mean, with the loss of tourism, you lose a lot of money.
That's true. So there's still their main original storefront, and you definitely have to go there.
You definitely have to go.
You get to pick fries.
If you're a burger fan, too. If you're a burger fan, yeah, they also have really good sides. The fries are bomb.
Yeah, they're good. The drinks, typical.
Of course, drinks.
It's like a diner. It's fun.
It's also it's like American like aesthetic.
I think they also speak English.
Red and white checkers. They speak English. All the menus are in English. You can do it.
Yes.
Also, it's right next to the station. I don't remember which station it was. But it's on the West Tokyo.
West Tokyo. It's a pretty popular one.
It's a popular one.
Retro gaming areas.
Yeah. We'll find out later what it is. Okay, so that's my recommendation. How about you, Alina?
Okay, well, I don't want to do too much about food either.
Yeah,
so,
I thought you guys weren't going to do food, so like I picked food to balance
I was going to do food because I thought we were all going to pick food.
My bad.
No worries. Let me talk about something completely different then. It's maybe a little bougie, in my opinion. But hair salons in Japan are so nice.
Oh my god, getting a haircut in Japan.
Okay, so I grew up with my dad cutting my hair and not changing my hairstyle ever. So I never did anything fancy with my hair till I got like older, right? I earned money. So when we're in Japan, I figured why not try a Japanese hair salon?
Or like we had to. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it was not a good look for us. We were like, okay, we started working. We gotta look professional. And there are English-speaking ones. You can Google this. There's a bunch of different ones. The first one we went to was... What was it called?
Assort,
yeah.
Assort Tokyo.
They actually have one in New York City.
Harajuku.
Yeah, we went to Harajuku first. But we also went to Tokyo at the very end.
Yes.
There's one in New York, one in Amsterdam, like legit. And it's so comfortable.
It's so cozy.
Like, and they give you a lot of care and treatment.
They give a shit about your haircut, you know?
Yeah, and like they give you like massages. They explain what they're doing. Just don't be a jerk, right? Enjoy it.
Yeah, just fun. Relax and just like they want to talk to you too. Like they're not trying to just leave you like silent unless you want that. You can say like, I don't really want to talk.
And they have different levels of English. They all have different experiences where they worked and interned and learned that, and it's just cool. Like it was really had nice quality. We looked great afterwards.
We looked fantastic.
He wouldn't stop talking about it. The best that we've ever looked.
They even did my eyebrows, and I'm like, I've never thought about doing my eyebrows, but I look sharp after that eyebrow trim.
He wouldn't stop talking about it.
I wouldn't stop talking about it. Because I went to work, and everybody was like, why do you look so much better? Like, right now. And I'm like, right here. The eyebrows.
Right, yeah. Just like trust them. I would just go in and be like, I want shorter hair and something easy. Yeah. And they were like, I got you. I had a different person each time, and it'd be slightly different each time, but super enjoyable.
So enjoyable.
The massage, giving you shoulder massage, a head massage.
So you sit down, you get a consultation, they ask you what kind of hair you like, they get references for you, then you pick, and then they're like, okay. And then they take you to get your hair washed. So they wash out your hair before they even give you a haircut, get it all wet.
That's normal.
Yeah. Did they shampoo it at that point, or is that after? It's after.
I had my hair washed twice before because I had so much hair, and I was really confused because in the U.S. when I've done it the few times,
you have to go home and take a shower.
No. I went I would go. They would ask me what I want, wash my hair, shampoo at the same time, and cut it. But here they were like, okay, well we're gonna wash your hair first, and I was like, okay, and then they made it wet. But they didn't do shampoo, so I was like really confused. But then they cut it short to the length, and then they did shampoo. They
finished the haircut, then they shampoo you.
No, they didn't finish the haircut. They cut it shorter, then they did it again with shampoo, conditioner, massage while they're doing it. Then go back, dry it halfway, cut it, stylize it, and then whatever else you asked for. But it was insane and wonderful, and I was like, yes, I feel bougie.
Plus a massage at the end.
Yeah, at the end, like for your shoulders and stuff.
And they're all hella good at giving massages.
Right?
Like, I didn't get the same person every single time, but those massages, consistently good.
Yeah, and they're all really cool people.
Yeah.
They're fashionable.
Yeah, they're fashionable young people that just kind of want to talk. They all have, even when you go on their website to get a haircut, you select your stylist and they have English level. Like, how good do I speak English? How well do I speak English? Hobbies, things to learn about your stylist. You have you kind of feel like you have a relationship with this person. More than a friend or more than a just a person, a stylist.
Yeah, I mean, this is slightly more expensive than the basic ones, right?
Oh yeah, you're paying $70.
I mean, you can go to a basic $10 one, but that's whatever. You get what you pay for.
But try the Japanese salon.
I recommend it. You will look wonderful and feel wonderful.
You'll feel wonderful. You'll look wonderful. Confidence. You'll get confidence.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It was a good confidence boost.
That's a really good recommendation. I totally forgot about that. That's a great one. All right. Yeah, how about you, Dad? Something to recommend for people going to Japan?
Definitely. So, you mentioned food, right? First.
Yeah.
You mentioned burger.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, Yokosuka, U.S. Navy base, local street over there by Dubuida, they call it the Hunch, right? There's what they call it. I mean, I'm also, I have my doubts the first time I saw it. It's Yokosuka burger. All right, Yokosuka burger, and there's a story behind it as well, being the sailor town and stuff. Somebody made up stuff like that, but I don't really know the detail. But every weekend, there's always a line on that thing.
Wow.
So
That's wild.
I'm curious myself. I mean, because these guys are, looks like they're not from there. They're like from Tokyo. They're like, I guess they have that app to where TripAdvisor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You guys use that, and there's a thing in there. So I got curious. It's because like there's a long line there every weekend. I guess that's when Japanese travel. So you know what? Whenever there's a no line in there, I'm gonna try it. So I did. It's a burger. They call it different. Like they even have a Obama burger in there. You know. So different. And there's like about a foot tall of burger. But then I ordered the regular. It's like a $20-something one. Burger. They call it cheese, and there's an egg on it, and it is very tasty. Very tasty. I recommend it whenever you go there. Like what Joshua was saying, probably when you get there, try it. I bet you like it as well. Very tasty. I don't know what kind of meat they put on it. It's probably Wagyu, or I don't think it's American because they buy the beef outside. You know, I'm not sure, but it's really good burger wise, and they have their good French fries as well. And that's the food. Now also another food kind of thing is, I'm not a fine dining connoisseur to where, a lot of my coworkers want to go to like a nice restaurant and eat in, right? So if you want a quick food, fresh and 24 hours a day, Kitchen Origin. I don't know if you have that anywhere else or just in Yokosuka. I don't know if
I think I've heard of it.
I don't know if they carry
I think I've heard of it too.
Kitchen.
What do they make?
Well, they have photos in there, and I have my favorite. You just point like this, and they'll cook it. There's also, when you go in there, there's also food that's already on the table. You just grab it and pay for it. But if you want it really, fresh from the thing, they'll cook it right there, and it's quick. It's like 5 or so minutes. It's ready. Okay, so whenever, because I work long work hours over there, and I don't want to cook, you go in there with my bike. Boom, and bring it to my room and eat, and I always enjoy it.
It's nice.
Kitchen Origin.
Kitchen Origin. Sounds
Right.
like it's like a bento place. Like they have like to-go kind of meals.
That's
for you to
correct.
Take. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
right there.
Bento's
They
fun.
have small
I think I had one in
salads,
your
they
area. I had one
have
as well.
chickens, but
Never went there though.
I don't think so.
the regular thing is you want them to cook the fresh one, you just point and they'll cook it right there.
That sounds
Nice.
good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sam's Diner. Coffee.
Also, Sans Diner. Last recommendation: Mexican food. Sudanuma,
Guac.
the
I've
best
ever had.
guacamole ever. The owner of Sans Diner goes to Mexico to study how to make Mexican food and probably also have fun and stuff.
Yeah, but he goes periodically.
And,
on Instagram.
Incredibly authentic, absolutely delicious. If you are ever in Chiba, go.
Yeah.
Okay. That should about wrap it up for our podcast, right?
Oh yeah, we talked a lot about Japan today.
Yeah, nice.
It's good though. Nice to remember all the different things that
Yeah.
we experienced.
Thanks for coming on, Dad.
Oh, thank you guys. I enjoy the interview process, and I like to share, sharing our love of Japan and our enjoyment of Japan. It was a very good experience. Thanks for inviting me on your podcast.
Yeah.
No worries. All right, so next time you can catch us on Tuesday at 8 p.m. as usual on twitch.tv. You can also look at our old podcasts on YouTube. I've kind of slowed down on uploading those, but those will be back online where you can check out our old episodes and comment and stuff. But of course, the best place to check out is our live stream right here on Twitch. All right, have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.